I'm Maciej Nagowiecki, and today we are in Krakow, Poland, and we are all about samples. I will tell you what they are, why they are essential, how to prepare them, and most importantly, how to sell them. What are samples? Simply put, samples are your lifeblood. As a professional photographer, it's as much about making the sale and pushing the product as it is taking beautiful pictures. Samples are just that, the showcase of your product, or more importantly, the showcase of your passion, of your work, of your art. Why samples are important? Samples drive your business. It's as simple as that. Yes, you take beautiful pictures, but what do you do with them? How do you sell them? If you're a professional photographer who sells print products, samples are your commodity. It's your income. It's what you sell. And you can't expect to sell something that you don't have. It'd be like a professional sports team signing a multi-million-dollar contract with a player they never even saw play. Not ideal. Or a professional photographer buying an expensive camera that they never even saw or held or had the chance to use. Not happening. You've got to put yourself in your client's shoes. Give them something to hold. People love holding things. So get your studio some samples and get your business rocking. Oh, and if you're one of those professional photographers who doesn't offer print, you should reconsider, but seriously. What are the options? These days you have tremendous choice. You can get anything from album, photo book, or even a folio box sample. You also have tremendous choice about how they look, how they're designed. You've got leatherettes, textiles, natural leathers, actually stick to leatherettes, colors, blacks, yellows, whites, pastels, burlaps. It's all here. But that's one great thing about us at nPhoto too. Our studio samples are the same quality as your client orders. In fact, the only difference is a small stamp on the back inside cover that says studio sample, not for resale. So you can be sure that your studio samples will last as long as those products you order for your clients. Logo. Another important thing to remember is to make sure your samples are branded. But branded by you, the professional photographer, not the lab. The last thing you want is to go through all that time and trouble and spend all that money on a nice sample and an IPS setup just for your client to go online and order the product without you. Or even worse, try to negotiate with you. Even more, nPhoto makes it easy for you to add your own logo to your samples. Just upload it as a vector file. That's another great thing about us at nPhoto is we don't publicize our prices. They're only visible to registered users whom we verify as professional photographers. High quality products with pricing only visible to the professionals. Remember that. How to choose. Okay, so we've covered this a little. We've talked about quality and making sure to get it branded for you and visible pricing. But how to really decide on which one to get? Budget. We'll come back to that. First, you need to decide who your target is. Is it high quality? Is it low cost? Specific style? But don't cut the cost too much that it starts to affect quality. Remember, samples are your showpiece, and if they look cheap or are cheap, then you'll come off as cheap too. You don't want that, do you? Who wants to be the cheap photographer? Second, you need to decide on what type of sample you need. Is it an album, a photo book, a folio box? A cost. You should have worked in your numbers the cost for your samples. Go with what will maximize that the most. Go over your budget and you'll cut into your profits. You can go under it and you're sacrificing quality. So go with what will maximize that money the most. For example, photo albums are often the most costly print products, but these days, professional level photo books can offer near exact quality at a lower price tag for you and the client alike. Could be an option. Also, pay attention to labs that have promotions on samples. They're essential, but they shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg. After all, your arms are kind of important. Okay, back to sample options. You've decided on a product, but now how many? What size? Which collection? Collection. This is important. Every photographer has a specific genre they like to shoot, and every genre fits a different collection a little bit better. Are you a statement photographer? Go with the wow of our acrylic collection. Do you need something a little more intimate and sensual? Go with the Swarovski crystal line in our glamour collection. Do you shoot a lot of families? The exclusive collection gives you the most options to choose from. The creative collection lets you put a photo right on the cover. So what style fits you best? Go with that. I can't overemphasize this enough. Go with what makes you happy, because this will rub off in the sales process and make things a lot easier to sell. More on that later. Keep your mind on the forest through the trees. What do I mean by that? Don't get caught up and lost in all this sea of options. But remember what the point of a sample is: to sell your work. Don't feel as if you need to do too much with one sample, and don't feel like you need every option available. Keep it simple. In fact, all evidence suggests that this is much better for you and your studio in the long run. Consider this a sample's golden rule. Don't feel as if you need to have every material and every color and every product to have a successful studio or business. In fact, psychological studies show that the more choice clients have, the more frustrated and angry they become. Angry, frustrated clients mean no sale. No sale means no business, which means clear-cut forest. Always depressing. Keep it simple. Kiss it. So call your sample collection. Have 2 or 3 and knock them out of the park. But don't confuse selectivity with lack of diversity. Have a photo album sample on hand, but also have a photo book pro in case your clients like the idea and quality of an album, but not the price tag. Also, a folio box is a great way to show off impressive prints that people can buy. Or also, the triplets makes a perfect upsell option for any wedding packages or other bundles that you're trying to provide for a client. So just because you keep it selective doesn't mean it has to be undiverse. After all, remember what samples are for. They're for selling your product. Having more in hand and on hand increases the chance of a sell. Don't go crazy, but if your client asks for something that leaves you looking for a screen, chances are it's game over. Also, a client might end up getting something they didn't even realize they wanted until they saw it in person. Think about your client's possibilities. So, how to prepare your samples. This is more about the inside. The outside we've already covered. And this is simple, just stay true to yourself. What I mean by this is stay true to your style. If you don't like to use big albums, don't get a sample with 30 spreads. If you don't like to use glossy pages, then don't go for the metallic. If you're somebody who likes to use a lot of panoramic spreads, then get a lot of full spread covers. If you like to shoot many big panoramic spreads, then put them in your sample. Don't feel as if you have to cram your sample with many different shots in an attempt to save money and show off your range. Remember, samples not only show off your work, but they also show off your style. Design it like you would any client album so that the client isn't surprised when they get their purchase. Don't feel as if you need to follow some industry template or create some hodgepodge collage. The sample shouldn't be a validation of your ability as a professional photographer. Stick to what you like to do and do most often. Remember, doing what you love makes you happy and keeps you happy, and being happy in turn rubs off on your clients. Caution, the opposite is true too. And happy people are much more likely to be buying people. Caution, the opposite is true too. Okay, how to sell your samples. Show, educate, and personalize. Okay, so obviously you're not literally selling your samples, but how to use them to sell yourself. Actually, no, don't sell yourself. How to sell what they represent, a unique client print product, as well as your business. Remember, if you're a photographer that uses print products, samples are what you sell. You cannot sell what you don't have. I cannot emphasize this enough. So show. Most clients won't even know they need a print product or what it even is, unless you show them and tell them why. So indeed, the best way is just to simply show. In fact, it's a psychological quirk that once people touch something, they take ownership of it. And how often are you going to give up something that's yours? And sometimes that can be all you need. As prominent British wedding photographer Ron Lima says, he just shows them exclusive, good quality products and they get it because they want it. So show them. Educate. The next important thing to do is to educate your clients. Okay, so it might not be so easy as simply showing them and selling, but don't worry, all is not lost. It's important to educate your clients on the importance of print products every step of the way. As prominent wedding photographer and business mentor Andrew Miller emphasizes, you educate from the get-go, from the first meeting, through the sales meeting, through the end meeting, even at the wedding. Educate, educate, educate. Remember, as a professional photographer, you're used to true professional photography, but most of your clients won't be. They might be even your first encounter. So be sure to show them, educate them, guide them. Personalize. But don't only educate your clients, educate yourself about your clients as well. Sales is a personalized process. The more you know, the more natural it will be. Don't assume that just because it's another wedding couple that they're going to want a big white photo album with a giant cover photo. Meet with them, talk with them, get to know their interests, their style, maybe their ethical codes. All this will ensure a more happy, comfortable environment and make sure that you're not making a fool of yourself later on. Establishing a personal and emotional connection with your clients will increase their confidence in you, and in turn their confidence in what you're selling and what you're offering them. This means better likelihood of a bigger sale. And speaking of this, it will just make a better environment. And speaking of environment, person to person. This is best achieved person to person. You can learn a lot about somebody just sitting down and talking with them, more so than you could through a simple email exchange or text message or social media post. Take account of all the details that can help you put together a special personalized offer for your clients. Do they have a lot of space? Do they not have a lot of space? What's their style? Do they like black and white photos, color photos? Do they want a lot of photos, a small amount of photos? All of this can be found out from one or two or a few personalized face-to-face meetings. Promote. One other thing, of course, is to promote. Go that extra mile and let your clients know what to expect from you before they arrive. So get on all your advertising channels, your social media, your Facebook, your website, your Instagram, and have not only pictures of your pictures, but also pictures of your pictures in print products, so that your clients not only know what to expect from you, but they might even get excited to see what else you have to offer. Professional photographer, print products are your way to the good life. Samples then are quite literally the foundation of your business. They are what sells your work. Do right by them and they'll do right by you. Beautiful, quality, confidential. Aim for these factors. Krakow is a beautiful, world-renowned area for high-profile weddings and wedding shoots. Maybe one day you might be here as a photographer yourself. But just remember, high-profile occasions all start here.